Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the Ford Mustang Shelby GT350R, finish off in shadow black. MSRP start right around $74,000, and for the R model, this is the race spec. So there is a GT350. The GT350R is going to be lighter and give you some more performance-oriented aspects. Underneath the hood, this is powered by the 5.2 liter Voodoo Coyote V8. This is paired to the 6-speed manual transmission. It pumps out 526 horsepower, 429 pound-feet of torque. Sent to those rear wheels, this 3,600-pound muscle car is capable of 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds with a top speed of 172 miles an hour. Now, as we work our way to the exterior styling, you'll notice for this model, there's the matte black stripes with the red pinstripe. There's also the functional heat extraction vent there. This is equipped with LED headlights. There's also the DRLs on the inner side of that housing. There's the GT350 badge, Shelby in the lower section of that front splitter there, and a lot of cutouts in all of the mesh to provide cooling to that engine. Now, this is also equipped with carbon fiber wheels. I'm not sure if these ones are just painted gloss black, but they should be carbon fiber. There's the 6-piston Brembo brakes, 4 pistons in the rear, as well as those Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires to give you some added grip. Now, with the GT350, this also has some inlets up front. There's a driver's side, which cools the engine. Passenger side will cool the transmission. So there's vents up underneath that to provide that additional cooling as well. And then as we take a look at the side, everything else looks just like a Mustang would. We have the body colored mirror caps with the turn signal as well. There's also the stripe that continues down the roofline there. The 350 also has the magnetic ride, so you have a few different modes that you can do depending on how you like to drive. And there's that lower side skirt there, which matches nicely with up front. There's the GT350 badge, a trim accent just behind that. And then the 350R also gets this massive trunk mounted wing. It's also very light too. There's a backup camera, LED sequential taillights too. There's the cutouts in the lower diffuser there, as well as the quad tip dual exhaust. Now with this GT350R, even though it's more track focused, you still get a button underneath to release this trunk. Now we do have some added floor mats for this model. There's a little bit of storage underneath, but that is it. You don't get to fold that section down, but you still have a good bit of space where you can place some items if you need to. And then as we take a look at the interior, we have some Alcantara for this door panel, along with all the leather. You have your window, side mirror adjustments too. And then this is equipped with the Recaro bucket seats. The R logo's up top. We have some very nice support. They are manual, however, so you have all those adjustments. And then with the R, you have the rear seat delete. So you could use that for extra storage, but there are no seats in the back there. And then once we hop in, we have the Alcantara steering wheel, along with several adjustments to go over. So let's start this up where GT350 is also on the side of that shift knob. And we can go over all this info. You get cruise control, there's your Bluetooth adjustments, and then you have steering, so you can adjust that with 3 different modes. There's also the suspension with 2 different modes. You also have some normal driving modes that you can go into here as needed. So just depending on the driving that you are doing, you can set that up. You have volume and tuning, and then you can also go through the rest of this gauge cluster. So you have some vitals here that you can scroll through and monitor. You have track apps, so you can get into line lock, launch control, your exhaust note, your shift indicator, as well as the rest of this information you can monitor and test. You have drive assistance, so a few different modes there, and then settings that you can go into as well. So not a whole lot of info, but all of that is performance oriented as you would expect. We have the headlight adjustments. There's also 2 gauges in the middle. And then you do have the infotainment system here with several things you can go through. Now with the GT350R, from what I've read, it should not have AC. This model is equipped with AC, so maybe that was an option that you could get for the 350R. Rear seat delete is fixed, so you can't add seats, but maybe you can add the AC, which is nice, especially if you're driving this every day. And then we have toggles for your launch control, exhaust, traction control, a little bit of storage down below. Now this also has the backup camera, so you can utilize that. And then we have the short throw shifter for this 2 cup holders behind that. There's the manual e-brake there. A little bit of storage in the armrest as well as in the glove box. And then there's GT350R with the chassis number. And then here's a look at visibility. It's pretty easy to see. That spoiler doesn't really take up any of your visibility out of that rear view. So it's a cool exterior look. And then obviously you can still see around it. And from second gear, here we go. Obviously this has a lot more potential and I couldn't imagine ringing it out. I have a V8 in my R8 and just being able to get in those higher RPMs really just is a lot of fun when you have the area to do that. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the GT350R. I do like the amount of technology that you do get, but this does have a lot more performance-oriented tech, which is great to see. So obviously with the race spec for the GT350, that's what you would expect and that's what you are going to buy. Now, as far as the ride in this goes, I just put it into sport mode and we're bouncing. This is a little bit stiffer. It's something that I personally like. However, you can put it into normal mode. Some of these bumps are still a little bit on that stiffer side, and I'm not knocking it by any means. I like a setup like this just to give you that race vibe, even if you are just daily driving it. So in normal mode, you can feel it. It does have a stiffer suspension overall to it. It is designed much differently to give you that performance drive and that suspension setup. But I like it. I'm a huge fan, and I think I would definitely daily drive this if I had one. Definitely very easy to shift. I like this. This is a fun car. Oh, sounds so good. So if you're a Mustang fan and you want something performance oriented, I think this is the car to get for sure. But that's going to wrap it up. Wish I could do some more performance driving. Ooh, that was a big bump. But yeah, I'm not going to do any performance driving today, but there's been plenty of videos on the GT350Rs and how they drive. But huge shout out again to 704 Exotics for providing this muscle car for me today. Take a look at their website. That link is down below. Give the video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I'll see you all in the next video.